Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our February League of Women Voters program. Welcome to the neighborhood. The meeting is being recorded and will be posted on our league's website for on-demand viewing. If members and guests will please mute yourselves, that will help minimize any outside noise. Thank you. So tonight we are joined by 11 local elected or appointed government officials who are new to their positions. You may see a few familiar faces because some of our guests were formerly in other government positions, or they were appointed to fill a vacancy and then elected in their own right. So we have invited our guests to come and introduce themselves to us so we can get to know them a little bit better. We've asked them to give us a little of their background, what their job responsibilities are, the best way to contact them, and ways for constituents to keep current on what they or their governing body are doing. And I gave them each sort of an idea of the kinds of questions to answer if they can. And our guest officials may also share their legislative priorities or advocacy issues that are important to them. Our officials have been encouraged to use the chat box to share information after they have spoken to us. So I think we're going to begin with our first guest. And like I said, we'll just go alphabetical. Okay, now he's not here. Mr. Abdel Haq. Okay, he is not here yet. All right, but Bill Bazzi is. So you're on, Mr. Mayor.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Oops. I want to thank you for inviting me. Trying to get set up. Sorry, I was just changing the screen and okay. So I'm Bill Bazzi. I was on City Council. I had the honor of being in front of you back in 2017, and we had during the forum. And just my background, so I was elected for City Council in 2017 for Dearborn Heights City Council. On January 26th of this year, I was appointed as a city mayor by the council. My education, I have a master's degree in aeronautical. If I was aeronautical science, also in engineering. Both of them were from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I have my military experience. I have 21 years of military service in the United States Marine Corps. I had multiple roles with the Marine Corps, leadership capacity. I was military police, intelligence chief. I also I was an operations intelligence senior enlisted leader, about 300 something service members of different military service, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Corporations, I worked with Boeing Aircraft Company. I worked for Boeing Defense and Space Company, which is actually a subsidiary of the Boeing Aircraft, but it was two different divisions. I was a quality manager, also lead auditor for the Boeing company. I also did 2 years overseas with the company, overlooking defense and space program overseas in the Middle East. Also worked for Ford Motor Company as a product engineer. Just to tell you why I entered, why I was elected official. During my 14 months when I was overseas, that was probably one of the roughest deployment I had. I remember I was Skyping my wife. We were talking about, just going back and forth between heights and deploying. So I wanted to do something for our city. So my last deployment, I remember I Skyped my wife and I told her when I come home alive, I was going to actually go into the service of our city, and I wanted to actually run for office. But I wanted to finish my term, which actually, not my term, but just able to get my retirement, which is 2016, January 2016. So I ran for office in 2017, and then actually, obviously, I was elected. So while being deployed, I worked on various initiatives. One deployment, I was responsible for visiting a few countries. It was part of U.S. AFRICOM. So it was in Africa for that one deployment. We're helping build infrastructures for different municipalities responsible for making sure that infrastructure is built. So if the government, U.S. government, pays for a certain project, I was one of the few that actually would go overlook and make sure that those projects are being done and they're being spent on the right project. Make sure the project is built to U.S. standards as well. So my goal was not to be a politician. I just wanted to continue my passion for public service. And part of, you mentioned job responsibility, is to oversee the different departments in the city of Dearborn Heights and just handle the daily administration. And most important thing is to advocate, for the residents of Dearborn Heights. So for the different committees, I've served on various committees. I was the president of the Ford Veterans Network Group, has about 500 members. I was also elected as the commander of the Dearborn Allied War Veterans Council, overseeing all the veterans organization in the city of Dearborn. I serve currently, and for the last 14 years, I was on advisory. I am on advisory board for the Midnight Golf program, and I'm also one of the champions for organizing fundraising for the Midnight Golf. It's a youth program for the inner city youth, and basically take them off the street, get them into something, so like golfing, and also mentor the students. And the success, it's a very successful program. 100% of the youth that actually enter the program end up going to college, and most of them, they get scholarships as well. Also serve on the advisory board for Eternal Light organization that's been responsible for doing food drives or passing out food to a lot of cities, neighboring cities, from obviously Dearborn Heights, Dearborn, benefits from that organization, Redford, Inkster, Detroit, Wayne. So there's just a few of the organizations. I'm also a member, advisory board member for the World Medical Relief, mentor of the Veterans Court, been organizing Toys for Tots for the last 20 years or so. Member of different membership, the American Legion, Kiwanis Club of Dearborn, the Marine Corps League, a Disabled American Veterans Organization, and also the Veterans Hospital in Detroit. So for
Mayor
I'm sorry.
Bazzi, I was
Yes,
just going to say, so your council meetings are recorded,
yes,
and people can get on them by Zoom, I'm assuming right now?
yes. So the all the council meetings are on Zoom for the time being for COVID,
Okay,
and they are advertised on the city website under City Council, and there's a link under the cover letter. You can just click on the link, and it takes you to the meeting.
okay. And we have your information in our Who's Who. We have your email and so forth. So if anyone has any ideas for you, I'm sure they'll let you know.
Yeah, so anybody's free to, I have an open door policy. The second day of my appointment, I had a meeting with all the department heads. And that's one of the things I said is I have an open door policy. And ever since I was appointed, and we have few people from Dearborn Heights that tell you the same thing. My door is always open, and you have residents, employees come into my office anytime if I'm not in a meeting, and I'll address whatever issues and concerns they may have.
Well, thank you so much. So let's go next to Danielle Elzayat.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the League of Women Voters for this opportunity. Thanks for all your hard work, and I appreciate all the work that you do to connect the community to their elected officials. It's very noble of you.
Thank you.
So I've I've been in public service for the past 15 years. I work for the Wayne County Department of Homeland Security Emergency Management. My role or interest in getting involved with the Crestwood School Board just felt like a natural progression. I'm co-founder of the Amity Foundation, which works heavily in the community to help support marginalized families across the communities in the metro area. So as far as Homeland Security, emergency management, our concentration is making sure that the 43 communities in the county are ready and have plans for any disaster that may occur. Heavily involved right now in the global pandemic of COVID-19 response. I sit on the Southeast Michigan Urban Area Security Initiative Board. I am the chair of the Urban Area Security Initiative Regional Training Committee. And I also serve as the chair of the Citizen Corps Council for Wayne County, which includes the teams of CERT, which is the Community Emergency Response Team, the Medical Reserve Corps, the Fire Reserve Corps, Neighborhood Watch, and the Police Reserves. Job responsibilities, as far as being a school board member, obviously health and safety of our students is #1 priority for me and for all of the board, I would say. And of course, our staff. You know, we work hard on setting policy and we work hard on making sure that things in the school board are fiscally responsible. There is a contact information. I looked at the contact information on the Who's Who, and that email is good. If anybody has any questions or comments or concerns, please feel free to reach out and send me an email, and I will definitely get back to you if I can assist. That is it.
Okay, thank you, Danielle. And I know that Trish Yoakum was relieved when you said it was a good address. 'Cause
Yes.
She worked hard on getting correct addresses. So thank you so much. You made her.
It is. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thank you. And now Latanya Gater.
Okay, good. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for inviting me, League of Women Voters. I think this is a wonderful organization, and so I was very, very, very happy to receive that email. And hello to everybody on the call. I am not a native Dearborn Heights resident. I grew up in Detroit, on the west side of Detroit. I attended Cass Tech for high school, Tennessee State University, which is a historically Black college university in Nashville. I came back home to attend University of Detroit Mercy, where I earned my master's in child and family psychology. So that is currently what I do. I am a mental health therapist at Southwest Counseling Solutions, located in Southwest Detroit. I also do independent contracting work with Solers and Associates. They actually have 2 offices, one in Dearborn, one in Dearborn Heights. Was recently elected a school board member here in Dearborn Heights District 7. Currently sitting on the Student Reinstatement Board Committee, but I'm the chairperson of that. And I was elected to the Board Policy Committee. So getting my feet wet there, so very happy to be elected to that position because I'm a mental health advocate. My brother was diagnosed with autism, which is what propelled me to get in the field because I really wanted to know the ins and outs of it to assist my family and to assist people of color with raising the stigma against mental health. So I wanted to bring that to the city of Dearborn Heights in the best way that I can. I actually wanted to be appointed to the D7 school board back when there was a seat that was open, but I didn't get that appointment. So I didn't give up and I tried again and got in the race. And once again, so very happy to get that, very surprised, but I got it because I believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and went in assuming all innocence with that. But I really questioned, hey, why isn't there more diversity on the board or more diversity in the school system? And so instead of just complaining about it without any resolution, I just went ahead and got involved. Currently sitting as the chairperson of the Dearborn Heights Community Cultural Relations Commission. It's a very long name. That commission already was something that was instilled in Dearborn Heights, but with the civil unrest with all civil liberties last year, I said, I'm wondering if the people of Dearborn Heights, share the same concerns that I do. And I just really wanted to get involved and learn more. So I started to reach out to people in city leadership, whether it be through email, whether it be through phone call, or attending the city council meetings. So I'm just so happy that the late Mayor Dan Paletko heard me, the city council members heard me. So they agreed to rebirth the commission. And then when Mayor Bazzi got appointed, was very happy that he was in support of it, and the current city council team was supportive of it. So we are still rolling and getting off the ground, but we are working very, very, very hard to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, community relations in the city, regardless if it's about getting people access to mental health care, to basic living resources, to community support from the police and public safety, just really trying to see where I fit in to be an asset from wherever I stand. I do not know if I have a future in politics at all, but if the people were to call me to do so and support me, and I feel like I'm educated enough to be able to make a difference, I'll stay open to it, but it just means a lot to me to stay involved. So going back to the school board, again, that's why I got involved in that. Our school board meetings were public at one point, and then it went away where it wasn't posted on YouTube. So I recently advocated really hard to have that back broadcasted on YouTube. So happy that the board voted for it. So we'll post our meetings back on YouTube. We were supposed to start that at the last meeting, but the snow happened and we canceled our meeting. So we'll definitely post that at the next one. I'll be sure to add in my contact information, email, Facebook pages, the City of Dearborn Heights Community Cultural Relations Commission page. I'll definitely put it in the chat because I just really want to connect with any like-minded people who wants to see these cities around us do what we need to do for the residents.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, that I know I personally and many of our members are looking to see how that commission works out. And thank you. And I know one of our members is involved in that too. So thank you so much. And Dearborn Heights is lucky to have you, that's for sure.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm lucky to have them too.
Okay. Okay, Lisa. Lisa Hicks-Clayton, you're on.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It's an honor to join you this evening, and I do want to also, like those who went before me, say thank you to the League of Women Voters. You all do such an amazing job informing and engaging our residents on the voting issues, on the candidates. I think it's a great service that you do, as well as registering students to vote. So thank you for that service that you continue to do and offer. My name is Lisa Hicks-Clayton, and I am your Dearborn Heights treasurer. And a little bit of background, I'm a mother of three. I lost my son last year, and it's near and dear to my heart to advocate for those who don't have a voice when it comes to PTSD and mental health. So I just want to say that when people ask me how many children you have, I say three. I still have three. Okay. I'm an educator by trade, and I ended up being forced into retirement a little early because I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. But when one door closes, God always provides a window. And here we are. I ended up running for city council back in, it would have been 2011, I took office in 2012. And at that point, I had served on the City Beautiful Commission with Dearborn Heights, and then I was elected. I ran because I truly believe in being a public servant. And I also believe in investing in others and developing future leaders, because we can't do this job forever, right? And I think it's so important to invest in our youth. So I always try to lead by example with that. I served on the Commission on Aging, as well as the Commission on Disability Concerns for the City of Dearborn Heights as well. And I was president of Gulfview Manor Civic Association for 10 years, wrote neighborhood watch programs. I also did that for the United States Army. My ex-husband was a career Army. He recently retired, actually, after 30 years. And I did neighborhood watch programs and wrote programs for other communities. So some of the other things we do recently, or I'm doing recently, included organizing and creating a 501c3 youth leadership program in Dearborn Heights, where we are creating servant leaders for the future through service. So we do everything from food distributions. We've got a great project coming up with delivering masks to people, but that is all working because of community partnerships, which I truly believe in. Again, I entered public office because I believe in engaging our residents in the process. I believe that government works for you. I work for you. We all work for you. I take that very seriously. Part of the city charter for Dearborn Heights clearly states to do what's in the best interest of your residents and your community. I have that on my desk at home and I read that every day to remind. I mean, I don't need to be reminded, but it's good to always have that in front of you. We serve you. Some of the job responsibilities, well, did I mention I was a city council member for 9 years? I don't think I mentioned that, but I was city council member for that 9-year period, and here we are. I was elected to treasurer in November, and thank you to all of the voters for their support, which I'm truly humbled by that outpouring of support. Some of the responsibilities of treasurer includes, as it says, you know, the number one responsibility is safeguarding the public funds. And when I ran, it ran on doing just that and following and upholding and enforcing all federal, state, and local regulations regarding safeguarding your public funds. And so that's the number one priority. I mean, we take tax payments, you know, we're collecting the water fund payments and water payments. You go to get a building department permit, you come to our office to pay for the permit. We make the deposits, we do the accounting. I also do all the cash flow reports. So I can tell you exactly every single month what's going out and to who it's going out to. I can tell you what's coming in. I can tell you what time of the year we need to be a little more, tighten that belt a little bit, which would be, of course, the month of June, just so you know. The other thing that I do that I've really spent a lot of time investing to make sure I do well is investments. I just wrote the investment strategy and presented that plan to the city council. And that's really important, the investments that we're making. So I have that. Speaking of policies and procedures, I've been reviewing all of the policies and procedures for the treasurer's office. I have gone back as far as I can. A lot of the stuff is dated from 1998. So there's a little bit of a review process going on to make sure we're updating and current if we need to. As far as something that I do for communication, because I'm a big communicator, and so treasurer talk and conversations that we have, not only making sure we're communicating with you from the treasurer's office, we open, especially during the pandemic, by the way.
Lisa, if someone had a question about like their tax bill or something,
And navigating through, how do I pay my winter taxes? How do I do?
Yeah.
Exactly. In your guide, which is great, but it's 313-791-3410 is our main line. Okay, or 3417 is my direct line.
Okay.
But what I want to tell you though, that I want to do
quickly.
So I'm also the deputy chief of staff for Senator Alexander, which means I do constituent services. And so through the treasurer's office, I wanted to make sure that we were full service with customer care program, where we actually make sure if you have a question like, I can't pay my water bill, I need help with this, I need food, we're providing resources to our residents and making sure that information is available to them. So that's kind of a new step for the treasurer's office.
I agree. That's great.
Yeah, and it's out there. Like there's all these resources and we're sharing this, and we have applications. Like if you're getting ready, and I just did a webinar on foreclosure prevention. Like we want to keep people in their homes, right? We don't want you to lose your home. So I was sharing those resources, and that's a partnership with Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, who does a great job with that.
Okay, and Lisa, you have a Facebook, right? So people could go on your Facebook, and so they could go on your Facebook and see all that wonderful stuff you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know you're so involved in the community.
And you have all my contact information, but again, I just wanted to say thank you. I could go into the background and the training, but that might take too long. But you can always call me. It's an honor to serve, and thank you for giving me the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, how about Najah Jannoun?
Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Hi. I'd also like to say thank you for having me. I know didn't give you a definite answer, Mary Jo, and I apologize for that. My schedule, I'm glad I was able to make it,
Yes,
but
we are too.
I didn't prepare a speech of any sort because I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, but I'll just give you a brief background of myself. I wasn't born in the city, but I've lived here the majority of my life. I'm a mother of 4. I have 4 children in the district. So I'm also a realtor in the city, and I've been for about 10 years now. I have always been active in my children's education from just being a PTA mom. So basically down from those bottom roles and kind of, worked my way up and becoming more active in their education. And the older they got, I was able to start participating more with coming into school board meetings. And, I never had the desire to become what you might call a politician in the traditional form. And I don't think that I ever will be. I was hesitant as this role, and I'm not sure if any of you know, but as Lynne Senia, love you, Lynn. As Lynn was appointed clerk, her seat became vacant, and I had been participating in our school board meetings for quite some time. And in seeing some issues that I found to be, concerning to me, I continued to attend the meetings, and I may say I became a thorn in some of their sides, where
A good
I
thorn.
would show up with
We
my,
love you. We
my
loved you,
cameras.
Najah. We loved you.
Thank you, Lynn. And show up with my camera and just wanted to see more transparency throughout the district, and just wanted to see that, everybody was represented, and just to see us growing and improving as a school district. So through that, when the opportunity came and Lynn was appointed city clerk, I decided that I would take that opportunity and serve in a different capacity. So I was appointed, and I'm really glad that I've had this opportunity. I think it's opened my eyes to a lot of different things, and the way that the board is run, things that we don't see as normal citizens, and what has to happen and take place behind closed doors. I can appreciate it, and I respect anybody that's in government. And again, being a politician was never my goal, but this, taking on, worrying about my children, is one thing, but now I'm responsible for decision making for 4,000 other children. So I definitely have a respect for anybody who served in this way. But I believe that we should all strive to be actively involved in any type of, whether it be city council, because I have attended and still continue to attend those meetings as well, the school board, to anything, because it gives us the opportunity to have a say and to be knowledgeable of what's happening around us. School boards, I'll give you a little bit of background. Obviously, I'm sure, most of you know that, we are responsible for establishing policies and regulations for the governance of the board. And again, like Danielle said, that, our top priority is the safety of the students and the staff and our families. And right now we are faced and tasked with quite the challenge on deciding on whether or not what we're going to do for these children and how we're going to make up for all of this lost time that they've had. And so it's definitely been a challenge, and it's, we're doing the best we can. I know there's other board members on here, and I know that we're all facing the same challenge, but I'm also on the community, I'm on the public relations committee for the board, as well as the curriculum committee. I've done a lot of volunteer work within the community, not so much to say that there's, one thing in particular, but anytime there's an opportunity and I'm available, I, do my best to take part in that. My phone number, if anybody would like, 671-2585. I'm, open to speaking to anybody, and I really appreciate you guys having me today.
Well, we thank you and for not being prepared. You did pretty well. And thank you for
Ah,
stepping in.
I hate this type of stuff, but I
It's
appreciate
nice to
it.
see a young
Thank
one,
you.
that's for sure. Okay, thank you. And
Oh,
I don't
thanks.
think Dave Knizik is on. Okay. Tullio Liberati.
I just want to thank everybody for the invite. I'm honored to be able to speak with you today. I'm a lifelong Allen Park resident. Went to St. Francis Cabrini High School. It's where I met my wife. 27 years, have 2 children, active in their sports, coached all kinds of teams. My family's been involved in local politics for quite a while. I am the state rep of District 13, which is Southgate, Allen Park, and Southern Dearborn Heights, and a little sliver that's not Southern. So up in Lansing, my jobs are to push policy and craft legislation to help my constituents make their lives better. I'm on 2 committees, Commerce and Tourism, that will include helping small businesses. That's really big priority of mine. With COVID, the restaurants, everybody's hurting so bad. And if we can get the funds they need to just stay afloat. And transportation is the other one. And under transportation, under that umbrella is infrastructure. And I know you people in Dearborn Heights, my part of Allen Park, every time we get a rain, it seems like the basements are flooding, and that infrastructure, that includes water lines, sewage. So it's not just the roads. And I really want to work on that. And, you know, they keep telling us 100-year rains, and it seems like 100-year rains are coming every 6-7 years now. So we need a solution that's permanent and not a Band-Aid, because, you know, that happens and then you fix everything and it happens again. We got to put an end to that. I have a great staff. We work on unemployment claims, DMV, COVID relief. Office is always open. You have my information. I also have a Facebook page, Representative Liberati, Tullio Liberati, and I have Facebook Live. Trying to have them twice a month. The next one is Tuesday at 12. They're taped, so if you can't make it, check it out. And if you can, there's a section for questions. You put questions in there and I'll answer as we go along.
So you have your own Facebook page then?
Yes.
So then if somebody wanted to get notified of like these town halls you have and so forth, they'd be able to find out that way.
Yes, and in the information that was on there on your website, what is it? housedems.com/Tullio Liberati. You can sign up for a newsletter.
Great.
And your email, and you'll get everything I got going on will come right to you.
That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you so much, Tullio. Okay. And Adel Mozip.
Thank you so much, President Mary Jo. I really appreciate the League's efforts, as always. My wife and I have been proud members of the League since 2016. We have 2 sons. I currently work for Beaumont Health as a senior software developer since 2018, and I was heavily involved in developing the applications for COVID, Clerk for Work, and the serology study that Beaumont had, and now with the vaccine rollout. So been pretty busy, pretty hectic days. I've been an active member in my community since high school days, coming to the US as an immigrant back in 2000. Attended Fortson High School. I earned my bachelor's from the University of Michigan Dearborn in computer science engineering, my MBA from Wayne State University in 2016. Back in 2008, I co-founded a chapter for the American Association of Yemeni Students and Professionals, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting higher education. And I taught program at Access for 3 years, teaching students technology, leadership, and media and financial literacy. I was appointed by our former governor to the Commission on Middle Eastern American Affairs, and also the environmental justice, which is a huge passion for me following the Flint crisis. Currently also involved with Rotary Club of Dearborn and also my neighborhood association, Eastbourne Neighborhood Association. Back why I ran for public office, this was back in 2016, or actually even back in 2015 when there was a vacancy. And I was not successful. So I applied again in 2017. And that didn't happen. In 2018, also ran and came in third and did not place a seat. So I'm glad to be appointed back in 2019 to the board after 2 tries of applying and 2 elections. And so I like to congratulate Latanya as well. And so it's a process and you have to go through it. And sometimes you get really down and people doubt you, but you prove them wrong, right? So, but it's been very honoring for me to serve. And the board meetings are just amazing. Graduation is the best time for me to see the smiles and happiness of parents to see their kids graduate. Our school board meetings are second Monday of each month, and for the Henry Ford College, third Monday of each month. And they're being broadcasted on YouTube, on Facebook, as well as the TV channels, the local TV channels. For the college, the meeting is on Zoom, and the information is available on hfcc.edu. My passion, again, making sure that we have quality education in Dearborn, raising the student academic achievement, and obviously now grappling with the reopening plan for in-person instruction. My interests are in equity, social and emotional learning, as well as making sure that our money that we spend from our taxes are well spent. This year, I'm on the policy and graduation committee, as well as chairing the superintendent and president evaluation committee, and a member of the audit committee as well. I will leave my contact information also in the chat. I have my website, adelmozip.com, and you can email me at either email for the college or for the school district for any questions.
Well, Adel, thank you. And I'm glad you persisted. Okay, now we're going to hear from Lynne Senia. Where is she? Where are you, Lynn? I know you were here.
Hiding.
Did she leave?
No. I just saw her.
Can't hear you, Lynn.
Oh, there she is. We can't hear you.
She's muted.
No, I think it's
there you
her
go.
mic. You would have to
Must be her
select your
mic.
mic.
It was working before. Oh, darn, because we did test it.
Can't hear you, Lynn.
You may want to take your headphones off.
Want to try to take your headphones off? Take your headphones off? Does that mean she can't hear us either? Oh, heck.
No, I can hear you.
Oh,
Can
now
you
we
hear
can
me?
hear
I
you.
thought you
Oh, now
could
we
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
Oh,
you.
Lynn.
I unplugged it and I plugged it back in. I don't know.
Oh, great. Great. Okay, you're on, Lynn. You're on, Lynn.
She's
Oh,
frozen
now,
now.
now she's frozen. This is not her night. Uh-oh.
I don't know if you want to skip her and then come back to her.
Yeah,
I'm
I guess
gonna
so.
shoot her a text real
I
quick.
thought she was
Wanna-
gonna.
At
Okay.
least she's frozen
you,
with a
okay?
big smile.
So you
Yeah.
can start.
Are you back?
Can you guys?
Yeah, you were frozen. So let's, yeah, so you seem okay now. Oh, I spoke too soon. Okay. Well, let's go. Lynn, we're gonna go on to Irene and see if you can figure
Okay.
out what's, well, we
Okay.
can hear you now. I don't know.
I
what you
know
said.
I can't see you now.
Well, that doesn't, it's too bad.
Okay, can you see? You can see me though?
Yes, and we can hear you. Yes.
can
Then
see
I'm
you.
gonna go ahead. I don't know what happened. It did say that my internet was unstable. So let's
Yeah, I
get
get
through this
that too.
quickly, okay? So
Okay,
my name,
you're on.
My name is Lynne Senia. I was appointed to city clerk for the city of Dearborn Heights on August 2nd, which was one day before the primary election of, and we got that through that. And then on to the most unprecedented election of the history of the United States, I believe. We went through that and we succeeded. I mean, we got the information out to the people. As you know, the absentee ballots were triple of what they had been in previous presidential years. We had, I think, sent out like 16,000 and got maybe 15,000 of those back. I took advantage of the initiative to get our city voter application or drop boxes, both in our in both ends of our city. So I took advantage of that, and to get I wanted to get our voter engagement and get our voters involved in the process. I was part of a committee with Access and the League of Women Voters prior to the election, and that was very helpful for me. And I think for our citizens, I've worked with the state of Michigan, the Secretary of State, Bilal Hammoud, and Zainab Hussein, who were very helpful as well. I offered and was open to getting sample ballots. It was a new initiative for the Secretary of State to get our sample ballots done and translated in different languages. Unfortunately, it didn't work very well at the presidential election. It was a late notice. We have 27 precincts with a various, there was a room in the chat where there's like 6 different school districts. So they had to be translated in a variety of ballots. So that didn't work out, but I am working, looking forward to working with the Secretary of State this year to make that a success. Actually, I attended a virtual meeting today. It was with the Secretary of State. It was a legislative roundtable, and very, very interesting, very, very interesting. I'm all about voter engagement and voter getting the information out to the voters. But one of the members there today, they mentioned ethical training. And it's not just about getting a resident to register to vote and to come out to vote. I believe that our voters, and we have an obligation to educate those voters. And I think the League of Women Voters does that very well, but we need to get out to more people in whatever way we can. I'm going to go back to a little bit of how I got involved. And I guess it goes back, I don't want to tell you too much, but quite a while ago. My uncle was a mayor of another municipality close to us. So I was hitting the pavement back a few years ago. And then I worked for Michigan Bell. And while I was at Michigan Bell, I ended up leaving there while I was in their public affairs department, where we worked with federal, state, and local municipalities. It was very, very interesting. I didn't know that I would end up where I am today, but actually it was probably maybe 18, 20 years ago that I started getting involved in the school system when my daughters were in school. I am the mother of 2 grown daughters. I have 2 grandchildren, one of which my grandson Griffin is up in heaven. We lost him unexpectedly 2 years ago. And I am a grandma of a newborn. She's 2 months old. And so anyway, 20 years ago, I've been in Dearborn Heights for 36 years. I was on the Crestwood School Board for 16 years. And I'm very honored and proud that Najah stepped forward and took my place and was appointed to my place. She didn't just take my place. I was very passionate about things when I was appointed at that time. And I could see that passion in Najah when she would come to the school board meetings. Then she would come to the city council meetings. So that's what we need in our community, is more people like Najah and the rest of us here that want to stay come forward and do what's best for our community and bring us forward. So I think I'll wrap it up there. I'm proud to be a member of the city. I have been employed there for 14 years, not just appointed. You know, I have been there, so I do know the community. We do have 2 city council meetings, the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of each month at 7 o'clock. Currently, we are on Zoom, and we, like Mayor Bazzi said, we do have it posted every week on our council page, agenda and minutes, with all the backup up there for council meetings. Okay, I will put
thank you so much, Lynn, and we do thank you for all you did.
Here we go.
For
I
the
can find,
voters,
I got you
Dearborn
back.
Heights.
Okay.
I was just thanking you for all the work you did for the voters in Dearborn Heights, and I think they're very
Thank
lucky
you.
to have you. And we
Thank
look
you.
forward to working with you, obviously, more. Okay, Irene Watts.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you again for hosting this. I think this is important to have these sort of meet and greets and conversations in our community.
Irene,
my name is Irene Watts,
Irene,
and I am the Dearborn trustee. Yes.
I was just going to say, it's coming funny. Your voice is coming a little funny. I don't know if anybody can diagnose that. Anybody have any ideas? Was it just me?
A little bit fuzzy, yeah.
Just a little fuzzy.
Let me get. Is it better if I get closer?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll do what we can.
I'm going to disconnect. And I'll connect with my phone. If you want to go on to somebody else, and I'll reconnect.
Irene, do
Okay.
you want me to call you and you could like speak and mute yourself?
Yeah, because I think that's what it was. It was she was getting feedback from something else, like there was an echo.
Kind of, yeah. Technology. I have no idea what they're doing right now, but I'm glad they're doing it.
And then I'll go last.
Okay. All right. She's gonna reconnect on her phone.
Okay.
Heard you.
I did want to actually, Irene is the last one, unless Dave came on. I did want to say that we did hear from Mandy Deeroff, Dearborn High School District 7, and Mo Sabaugh from Crestwood School Board. They both had conflicts, but you know, they said they were, you know, said thank you for being invited. So I don't want to get into a big, we were going to maybe ask at the end a question about civics education, if any ideas for schools or citizens in the community, but it's almost 8 o'clock. So
Irene is back.
Irene is back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we try this again?
Perfect.
Thank you. Hi, so thank you for having this and hosting this. Let's try this again, take 5. My name is Irene Watts, and I'm the trustee at Dearborn Public Schools and the trustee also for Henry Ford College. I grew up in Dearborn Heights, so my parents have lived there since 1975, or not, I'm sorry, 1977. They still live there on Berwyn Street, so thank you for all those who are serving in Dearborn Heights. I went to school at University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, met my husband, and we've lived in, and he's a lifelong Dearborn resident. We've been married for 15 years here, and we have 2 children. I'm a quote retired educator. I was in the classroom for over about 21 years. I left in summer of 2019. I loved every single day of it. I loved the children and the staff and the parents, but I had a sense that I needed to move on. At that time, my uncle was diagnosed with double cancer. And so during that springtime, I took a 2-week sabbatical, and I really kind of helped advocate for his care at a local hospital. And during that time, I found that there was opportunities where my voice was needed to help advocate for his health. And it really kind of changed the way that I viewed life. And as much as I had loved the classroom, I wanted to kind of venture outside of the classroom and use my voice to advocate for others. So after August 2019, I did a lot of nonprofit volunteering at various places in the Detroit area and working with single moms and youth and children at risk. Before then, I served on the Dearborn City Beautiful Commission for many years. I ended up being the co-chair of the commission and also the chair of the school portion of the Dearborn City Commission, Beautiful Commission. While as chair, we were able to establish a grant that was available for all of the Dearborn schools. There was collaboration between the schools, the mayor, and the Beautiful Commission to kind of help extend and create, encourage students to take ownership and pride in their schools. Also, let's see. So part of the reason why I wanted to be on the school board, I've been interviewed twice before in the past, and obviously didn't get the position. And then this summer with the opening, it just felt like it was something that was kind of meant to be. So it was my first campaign, first election, and here I am. So it's been an exciting time. It's been not anything that I think any of us has probably ever predicted or experienced. But on that, so I am the treasurer for our schools. I'm the chair of the finance committee. I'm on the policy committee and the city relations committee, and also the Dearborn Education Foundation committee. In my spare time, I'm also a mom of two. I am the team manager of my son's travel hockey team. And also the co-founder and executive director of All Things Michigan. It is an event for nonprofits in the area, and we help raise funds for Sparky Anderson's Catch Foundation, and also for a veterans foundation that helps veterans with PTSD when they come back from war. And that foundation we've done for about 11, 12 years. It's been on pause because of COVID, but we help to establish and highlight Michigan-made products and businesses and local goods. With the emphasis on returning all of those profits from fundraisers and auctions to those nonprofits. And like Latanya was saying, a lot of my focus has been on mental health. I've seen firsthand how mental health and how trauma affects children. I was a GSRP teacher for a very long time, and with COVID, I think we need to go back to having those conversations where we knew mental health was an issue beforehand, and COVID hasn't created anything that it's exposed to those sort of shortcomings when we talk about mental health, and making sure that we approach it with empathy, but also with equitability, because not everyone's going to be hit the same when it comes to the trauma that they may have experienced. So coming back to it and kind of looking at it from different lenses, from not only, school board perspective, how can we do this that's fiscally responsible, but what are the short-term and long-term ramifications about the policies, and how are we supporting our students and staff? I think that's pretty much everything. I think Adele kind of shared with you how you can see our board meetings. On top of all of that, I mean, I was a homeroom mom, I was PTA member, I was buying cookies, I was baking cookies. All of those things we kind of forget on a Thursday night, and we hurry up and run to Kroger for that bake sale when they say we need more cookies. So I've been there, but I'm also a first generation. I was one of the first in our family to go off to college. My dad, he received a GED and went straight onto the line when he was 16 working at Chrysler, and my mom never received her elementary grade proficiency exams. She came from Poland. So for me, education was always a very strong suit. English was a second language for me. So growing up, it was hard for the S's because it was just not something that was used in our household. So for me, you know, looking back, I thought that kind of was what every household came from. You know, I think I'm very excited to be able to have that sort of perspective. Not excited, but I think I have a different perspective than most people would think when they see me. And I kind of try to bring that sort of experience and walking into, you know, other students and parents' shoes, knowing that, you know, if they're looking at the school board meeting, English is not going to be their first language. And I know how my parents struggled because they couldn't help us with homework. So just bringing that sort of different experiences and perspectives.
That is really heartwarming, and I just love it, learning so much about everybody. We have just a couple of minutes. Does anyone, any of our guests want to add maybe one little thing they thought of while they were listening to anybody else to help us know more about you or how to get more involved with what you do? Well, I want to thank you so much. This has been great. We will be putting the recording on our website for other people to get to know you. And we'll be sharing the chat information with our members, so they'll get to know you a little bit better. So I'm going to say goodnight to our guest. Yes, hands to everybody. And after our guests leave, then would our members stay on just for a minute for a couple announcements, but we'll stop the recording. But thank you so much. And I look forward to better days when we can actually meet you all in person.
Thank you for hosting this, Mary. I appreciate it. And thanks for the League of Women Voters. You guys are amazing. You know, I've been following you guys for years. Thank you.
Okay.
And like I said, you know, in 2017, you did an amazing job, you know, with forums that I've seen. I watched all of them, especially Dearborn and Dearborn Heights. So thank you very much. I appreciate you.
And of course, we'll be doing all that soon.
Hopefully in person.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And
Okay.
thanks to everyone for taking the chance to serve our public.
Yes. And during these times, I mean, I don't know how you do it. Yeah, everybody's kept their cool, as far as we know. So thank you
Good night,
so
everyone.
much.
Pleasure meeting you all. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank
Good
you so
night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And Jen, I think we can stop recording.